Okay, everyone, a really quick video because as I was going back over the video about bonding, there is some important information that you kind of need to know in advance of explaining the bonds. And and what that comes down to is how do you determine whether something will form an ionic bond or a covalent bond? Ionic bonds are typically between a metal and a nonmetal. So they're kind of on opposite sides of the periodic table. So our metals are our group 1, group 2, groups 3 through 12, and then we get to these kind of post-transition metals and metalloids, and that will be what's here in the blue. So aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium, tin, lead, and bismuth, and then the metalloids, boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium. So our nonmetals really start here at carbon. So carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, selenium. And then we have our halogens, which really kind of behave as um, nonmetals. So, like fluorine will bond to a fluorine, chlorine will bond to a chlorine, and form like F2, Cl2. Um, so they can be involved, even though they're halogens. They can also be involved in covalent bonds. So, if you have something on this side of the periodic table, notice I didn't talk about these noble gases. They're stable. They have a full valence shell, so they don't want to form bonds. So they exist just kind of as free elements in nature. So if we have a metal that combines with a nonmetal, so lithium, for example, and okay, point out also hydrogen is considered a nonmetal. Even though it's over on this part of the periodic table, it's in group 1 because it has one valence electron, but it is a nonmetal. So if it bonds with oxygen, for example, it will be a covalent bond because it's between a nonmetal and a nonmetal. A ionic bond will form between, for example, lithium and fluorine. So lithium fluoride is a chemical that will form an ionic bond. Lithium will donate its one valence electron to fluorine. Fluorine has 7 valence electrons in order to form that ionic bond. So again, if you have a metal and a nonmetal, it will form an ionic bond. If you have a nonmetal and a nonmetal, it will form a covalent bond and possibly a polar covalent bond.